So first of all, I'd like to apologize for not recording this properly and actually having video. The reason why is because I agreed to a terms and conditions that to allow me to play the alpha game, I could not record unless given special permission by the devs. The reason why they are doing this is because they don't want people to think that the game is in a better situation because you'll cut out things like the lag and the flaws with the game, and you'll just focus on the good parts, and that would mean backlash from public. So I'm also going to start off by showing a few of the telling you about a few of the flaws with the games to say so why it's not ready yet. Just over the past week or so, we've had 3 times the servers have been unable to be used because of server errors. It struggles and it starts lagging after you have like 3 people on the game, and even just going up to another person called T11 and go to their tower, which has, yes, it has every single item in the game, or at least I believe every single item in the game, it severely lags your computer even if you're the only one on the server. So the problem is that currently the servers are, one, not strong enough, and two, there's also quite a few glitches, such as all the subzones are not done yet. There are a couple that are done, but none are really that done. And the quests are going along nicely, but there's still quite a few flaws that needs to be fixed, and there's bugs where you need dev intervention. There's some home streets that have things blocking the doors. So unfortunately, the game's not ready to be played. Now, 11 is a huge game, so I'm not going to be going through every single aspect of it in one video. In fact, I'm just going to start with home streets today. And if you have any extra questions that I don't cover in this video, ask them in the comments. I may end up still answering them in other videos, but I can give you a direct answer there and then. So, looking on my home street, we have my tower. This is a very hard thing to build as it is designed for multiple people to help you. But it's even harder to build with only like a couple of people playing because it's designed for an MMO which is supposed to have a lot of people playing. So when we have like a player base of about 50 people, it doesn't get it's quite hard to get help, and especially with the higher floors because you build up and each time it gets harder to build more. But and you can also decorate it as well, and you can also, once you've got it built, you can do whatever you want in it. I'll show you what it's like inside later. The house is just like the tower, but you get the first floor automatically, and you get a robot in there to do stuff which I'll explain a bit more about later, and it's just like the other place, but you get given it instantly, and only you can access it unless you let other people in, either by giving them your house keys or by being inside the house yourself, and they can come in as well when you're inside. The nice thing to this, you can just dump everything on the floors, and I'll show you what I've done later. And if you go to the other side of my house, you've got the butler, which is basically a all-in-one, does a whole load of stuff. Like it's like a mailbox, except there's mailboxes in the game, but it's like, what? It glitch gets 11 gets confusing, but it it basically is just your home keeper. Next to it, you have your signpost, which you can use to make other home streets and get the person's name, and you can type them in there, and it will let you go to their home street whenever you want. And the reason why you want to go to the home street is so you can access the things like their decorations, which I'll show you in a couple of minutes. Now, first I just want to mention the rock guy. He's kind of your mentor. He gives you quests and things and gives you other stuff, and just is one of the things you can do in Glitch and just follow the storyline. Well, it's more of just do quests and explore the world thing. Now, Decorations are basically the items that you can get in the regular world of which is the name of the world that you play the MMO in, and you can make it customized to your one street, because every place in is called a street, and each street has certain different things. You can have anything from any different biomes in this your house. The only disadvantage you have is your home street can only be so long. Now, to begin with, there is a dirt pile. This gives you regular dirt and loam. Loam is, I don't know what the exact chance of getting loam is, but it's quite rare, and you need it for other stuff as well as the dirt. I'm not going to go into what they use, because that will be a whole separate video by itself, maybe even two, because there's so many items and what they can do. Now, next to it there is a barrel rock. You can crush these to get other stuff, as well as just using the rock itself for other stuff. And you need a pick to mine that, as well as with the dirt pile you need a shovel. Jurassic clumps, don't need anything for that, but they are still useful. Mortar barnacles, you need a scraper. The bog peat, you need to have a shovel for that, and you can only get from it once a day. Each thing does have a limit to how much you can get to it, unless it's like the Jurassic clumps and mortar barnacles, where they come up as whenever they respawn. Next to it, you have pigs, butterflies, and chickens. And you can't see the chickens currently, but you'll see them in the next bit. But the signs give a limitation to where they can go, and the things below them are the automatic collector for what they give. Now this is where they get complicated. So, the butterflies give milk, the pigs give meat, which is self-explanatory, and the chickens give wheat. Now, you can also use them for other stuff. Pigs, not really anything else except for, actually no, you can feed them vegetables and they'll give you seeds. Butterflies, nothing else, but you can use their milk to make cheese and other stuff. So, chickens you can also use to incubate eggs that you season, as well as wheat, I think that's it. And then we move along to the dilute rock, basically a different type of rock of the barrel rock. There's also a sparkly rock, but that I won't show you because I don't have it on my street. Next to it we have herb and crop plots. Basically the stuff you get from the pig. When you feed the pig vegetables, you get seeds, and the seeds you can use to plant in here, or the herbs, depending if it's a crop or a herb. Now, in the decoration, now, when we go into the house, I'm not going to go. The different decorations you have is the table, the storage, chairs, decorations, boxes to keep items or sell them, wall decorations. It's just regular stuff that you'd have in a house. One of the things is you start off them with wood, and then there are certain things like some you need to be a member for or have credits. I don't know how they'll do it in this, but in the original game you have to pay to be a member as well as pay to get credits. This currently you get given credits for free as well as membership for free. And also upstairs is a bit bare, and then in the garden it's actually smaller than it is now because of the time of taking screenshots and voicing this. I've actually added a bit more. All I've added was a gas tree as well as a wood tree. Also, something for the wood tree that you need is a hatchet, because it's more gentle than your hands. So, okay, that's the sort of quirkiness this game has, but it's nice. And then you also have a spice plant, as well as which you need to water and pet, otherwise it'll die. And you also have a robot, which can. I currently don't know how to use it, as I've forgotten, and there isn't really a way to tell you. I think all the other alpha testers have forgotten themselves. But basically, what it's supposed to do is do crafting stuff for you while you do other stuff. And then next to it, I have a metal rock. You can use this to smelt the rock and make metal ingots, and then you can make those metal ingots into other stuff. So gets a bit complicated. I'll probably make a video for items alone. And to the side of it, you have a hooch maker where you put vegetables in, and you make those into actual hooch, which is basically the game's version of alcohol. Inside the tower, you can do literally anything you want. What I decided to do was have floors with different themes. You can rename the floors if you want. Other people have done stuff like a collectathon or stuff. So my first floor is a lounge. It's just a place with a fireplace. To get the actual fire, you need a decoration, and then you need to upgrade it into a fire so you can actually use it in the fireplace. But otherwise, you're fine. And there's tables, chairs, and there's also a mantelpiece. Above the fireplace, there is trophies. The trophies that you can actually use, get them from doing different stuff. There's one for getting 100,000 currents, the game's currency. Another one for getting all the bubbles. Another one for getting all the music blocks. Another one for getting all the gems, etc. And another one for getting all of the giants emblems, which is why the game is called 11 Giants, because there are 11 giants, which are the gods, essentially. And then on the next floor, you have the engineering, which is how you have a wood machine, a metal machine, and a fuel maker and a block maker. The wood machine, basically you get wood and make it into other stuff. It gets really annoying to make some stuff though, because you need to get 4 planks to make into 1 piece of post, which you need to make 4 to make another thing which I can't remember its name. But it's just really annoying to make those. But then there's also the metal machine. You can use your different types of metal from the metal rock to make other stuff, which you can use to rebuild the tower. Above you get the fuel maker, so you can keep these machines running. To the side of that you have the block maker, which you need things like loam, peat, other stuff to make. And when you have and you also need walls, wood, and then above that I have the cafe, and then which is quite bland. It currently also has another table and 2 chairs, but nothing really that big. Above that is under construction, but what you do need to build stuff is walls, wood posts, metal bars, metal girders, planning permission strings, nails, and blocks. The annoying thing is, currently I need like 60, but when you get to like floor 8 or 9, you need 200 of them. So it gets quite annoying later on. And then you also need to do construction with the construction tool and the tinker tool. And that is pretty much everything to do with the home streets. There probably is a couple of stuff I've missed out, but do let me know and I will be able to answer the questions in your comments.